Good day. I'm Teresa Fredericks from Growing Businesses Using Projects, bringing you yet another video, this time on MS Project, the user interface and its capabilities. My aim in all this is to ensure that as you will practice project management, you're able to do it effectively. So I try as much as possible to bring the project management theory to you in a way that you can easily understand. Today, I'm going to give you a brief on the user interface. I'm going to discuss how Project MS 2016 fits in with the project lifecycle. Some people call it the process groups, but we'll discuss that further in another video. We're going to be looking at the capability of MS Project. What could you use it for? And we're going to look at your responsibilities, what you have to do to ensure you're able to successfully use it. So what we are looking at right now is the project life cycle. As I said, we discuss that further. The first part of it is initiation or initiating. And when we're doing MS project, in this area, we're looking at concepts and setup. But then we get to planning. And in planning, we look at the tasks, the estimate, the dependencies, the constraints, the resources, and assignments. All of that is done in planning. And then we go to executing. In executing, we look at optimizing, making sure we have the best possible plan. Updating with performance. So we have completed 20% of a task, we update. We look at reporting to our stakeholders. And earn value, we look at measuring. And we will discuss these later and in subsequent interviews. But you will notice that this particular arrow, has one heading to plan executing and one heading to planning. Why? If something happens while we are executing, we may have to go back to planning to make changes. And then you go to evaluating. And in evaluating, we are saying, have our objectives been achieved? So we are looking at what went right, what went wrong, and what are the lessons that we can learn from this exercise. So let's look at the user interface. When you open MS Project, you will be taken to the start scene, the start area. It's called a start screen. On one side, you would see the recent projects that you worked on. You would see an area where you can open other projects. You would see a blank project. Then you can see where you can move new from Excel workbooks, new from SharePoint tasks, but you also have a lot of project templates that you can use, so you don't have to start from scratch. You can utilize another template or already available template. But we normally choose the blank project, so we just click on the blank project at this time. I will just quickly go through it, not in much detail. It's almost similar to MS Project. You're going to see 5. This is where we are at. Tasks. You're not going to see home, but I think that I would call the task bar the main bar to replace the home bar. And when you open it, you're going to see a lot of things that you can do with respect to tasks, how you handle summary tasks, how you handle milestones, and other things like that. In resource, you're going to get everything on resources. All right, you're going to be looking at how you level resources, you assign resources, your resource pool. In reports, as you click on each one, you're going to see all the different aspects relative to reports. Project. One of the main areas here is how you change working time, how you get project information. You click on that and you would get a bar that you can actually input your start date of your project and other information. Later on, you get statistics out of that. You're going to get view where you can look at several views, formats. If you get into a problem, there is the tell me area where you can actually ask questions. At the bottom here, you are going to be able to schedule tasks either manually or auto, and we always suggest that you do it auto schedule. On this side, you can slide, you can zoom in and out to see your Gantt chart. On this side, you're going to have your tasks, and on this side, you're going to be seeing your Gantt chart. Here, you can actually see different views. So as you click on each one, you're going to see exactly what it entails. An important area, of course, is the timeline. Before I close this area, I want to show you how you can get back into the back end. When you click on time, you're going to get back in here. But there are things that you can input. Like when you click on info, you're going to input. Remember we talked about project information. As you click on project information, you get in project properties, and you can put all the information about your project, its subject, who is the manager, and things like that. In the same area, you're going to get project statistics. So as you proceed, you're going to get a lot of information about your project. So let's talk a little about MS project capabilities. What you can do with it, what it can help you to do. It can help you to create plans at the level of detail that you write for your project. You can work with summary data initially and then shift to a more detailed approach. So you can start off, if you're building a house, you can start off with foundation, roof, walls, etc. And later on, you can add the subtasks to it. Then it helps you to control what tasks can be scheduled automatically. Remember, I showed you how you can switch to scheduling automatically. But what does that do for you? As you change duration, if you're scheduled automatically, it will automatically show you when when that particular task will now end. So if it was 2 days and it was showing 2 days and it's showing to 4 days, it automatically shifts the Gantt chart part to show you the 4 days. It can help you to manage tasks, resources, work and costs at whatever level of detail. Remember I showed you the resources. You can enter all the resources in the Gantt chart view. You can enter all the tasks, and what I told you was the task side. It can help you to work with it in a variety of views and reports. I showed you the reporting area. I didn't go into all the different reports, but it can help you to generate several reports. Okay, remember we talked about it being not only in executing, but in monitoring and controlling. So it can help you to track your performance, what is going right, what is going wrong, to collaborate and share data with others in the organization. That is one of the abilities. Use resource pools. And this is important if you're dealing with multiple projects. So you can consolidate projects, cross projects links to extend your project management focus across the several projects. Remember where I showed you in the back end where you had one of the templates dealt with Excel. Here you can paste data from Excel and Word and preserve the column headings and outline structure of your project data. You can customize the ribbon. You can create your own tabs and groups to suit the way you work. Before you is one of the main and most important statements anytime you're using MS project. Success with projects is built on success with basic project management practice. In order to be very successful at using MS project, you have to know project management. And this is why I'm going to have a series of videos to show you the different parts of project management that are important for you to be able to use MS project. But remember, success with projects is built on, this is a statement in step-by-step MS Project 2016, and it's one of the most profound statements that you would encounter. So what are your responsibilities? You have to determine what tasks might be performed and in what order to produce the deliverables. Whatever the project is delivering, is it a house? What task do I have to do? You have to do that. The order, the sequence, what goes before what, you have to determine that. When should each task be performed and what is the final deadline? when you have to determine at the start date. And not only that, if there is an imposed deadline, you have to be aware of that. Because what you want to do is to finish within the deadline. Who will complete these tasks? You're looking here at resources, but you're going to also, when you're looking at resources, look at equipment and machinery and everything relative to resources. And even in terms of what budget do I have? How much will it cost? What if some tasks are not completed as scheduled? What do I do? But let us just revisit how much will it cost. You have to be able to calculate the cost using the different project management tools and techniques for coming up with costs of every item. Because you have to put input into MS Project the cost of the various items. What if some tasks are not completed as scheduled? What do I do? Do I reduce scope? What do I do? No, you can be asking this question in planning, because in planning you could recognize that your plan is going beyond your deadline dates. So that before you finalize or baseline your plan, what do I have to do? And there are some things I may have to get permission to do. So you can go to your manager and say, listen, if we have to do all in scope, when I do the planning, I realize instead of taking 20 days, it's taking 30 days. So what do you advise? But anytime you go into your manager, go with the recommendations. So what am I saying? You don't have to start executing to realize that you're running past your schedule. Even in planning, when you're finalizing the Gantt chart and your schedule, you would realize that it's taking more time than it should. So we have to do something. What's the best way to communicate project details to those who have an interest or stake in the project? Many people, when you're doing reports, you do one report and you give everybody. But different stakeholders have different needs relative to the information needs of your project. All right, so your finance people might be more concerned with finances. Your technical people may be more concerned with the technical aspects. So you have to determine, come up with a communication plan, and what aspects of communication are you going to send to the different stakeholders, and what reports are you going to make to ensure that they get what they need and they get it on time. Okay, was a very brief and quick video for me. If you have any comments, you can leave it below. But I am inviting you to go to my website, fftsbiz.com, where you can get a series of articles on project management, business management, strategic planning, spiritual and life skills development, or my Facebook page, Project Management Made Easy. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and see you in the next video. And subscribe, of course. Bye.